Yo, 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 what's going on, y'all? It's DFJ Hoops here, back again with another live. Now, this is a pregame live. The 76ers opening night is tonight. They take on the Milwaukee Bucks. So, we're going to react to the game and talk about possible outcomes that could happen with this game. So, in case you just tuned in, please make sure you hit the like button, smash the subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and then also you can share this video as well. I already got people in the comment section. Appreciate you, Michael, for tuning in. Appreciate you. Salute to the sporting page, man. Salute to the sporting page. Appreciate you for tapping in. He says open the investigation. Yeah, that is funny. But you said the NBA is pretending to investigate, so I don't even know what that means. But yeah, appreciate you for tuning in. Appreciate you. But yeah, I absolutely agree with the NBA investigating the 76ers. I condone it. Yeah, I absolutely condone it. So hopefully they don't find that the Sixers is hiding anything from the fans. But let's not waste any more time. Let's just get right into this. So Sixers Milwaukee for the second time in a row. Second straight year in a row. The Sixers take on the Milwaukee Bucks on opening night. Now it was in Milwaukee, but tonight is going to be in downtown. Not downtown. It's going to be in South Philly, right? You see South Philly right there. It looks pretty good, right? The courts look nice. The atmosphere, everything's good. Hopefully the Sixers could win, but that's not the case. The Sixers are not favored tonight, so um, in my opinion, I think this game could go either or, right? This game could go either or, but let's get into the matchups, right? So you have obviously Embiid is not going to be playing, right? Because he he got injured. So you have Embiid who's not going to play. Paul George is also not going to be playing. So the Sixers are going to be a little bit handicapped. But Milwaukee's also missing some players, right? Khris Middleton is not going to play for the Bucks because he is recovering from offseason surgery. I think he had ankle surgery this offseason, and Khris Middleton has been dealing with injuries these past few seasons. I think since 2022, he's been dealing with injuries. So, all I could do is wish him a speedy recovery, and hopefully everything can go well for the Milwaukee Bucks. But this will be a very, very tough matchup for the Sixers because for number one, they're handicapped, and number two, they're going up against one of the best dynamic duos in the NBA, in my opinion. I think they're top five, right? You have Giannis Antetokounmpo and Damian Lillard. I think they're top five. They had great seasons last year. Now, unfortunately, injuries derailed the their results, which is trying to compete for a championship. But Giannis averaged, I think, 30 points per game last season, and then Damian Lillard gave you 25 or 26 points per game. So that's a lethal that's a lethal duo right there. So the Sixers are going to have their hands full trying to stop these two guys. Right now, Giannis is a problem on its own. Interior, in transition, on the glass, he's a problem. And then Damian Lillard, on the other hand, he's a problem in the half court, right? He's a problem from the 3-point line. When he gets hot, you don't want to be dealing with that, brother, when he gets hot. So smash the like button as y'all come in. Man, sporting page, you funny as hell. When they released the schedule, the NBA said primetime games won't have back-to-backs. Then Adam Silver got caught lying, said TNT didn't count as primetime. Yeah, Adam Silver's for the players, so you know what it is. He says merely pandering is what Mr. Silver's doing, pretending to hear the fans complain. Like I said, I condone them investigating the Sixers. Hopefully the Sixers are not trying to hide anything from us. If he's hurt, just come out and say he's hurt. But I don't think that's the case. But yeah, let's go into the lineups now. I don't know what Milwaukee's lineup is going to look like, right? I don't know what it's going to look like. This offseason, they brought on some good players. They signed some good players. DeLon Wright was one of them. They also signed Gary Trent Jr., who I think is going to be the starting two guard. I haven't watched Milwaukee this season. In the preseason, I haven't paid attention to them. I don't know what their lineups look like. And they also have Taurean Prince. So if I'm to guess, I think the starting lineup is going to be Damian Lillard and Gary Trent in the backcourt, and then at small forward, they'll probably have Taurean Prince, and then you'll have Giannis and Brook Lopez at the center position, right? That's what I'm guessing. But I mean, it could go either or. You don't know. Maybe Doc Rivers is thinking about something else, right? He might switch things up a little bit. But if I'm to guess, that's what I think the lineup is going to be like. And then you have for the Sixers, we've seen Nick Nurse, experiment a lot with the lineups, right? In preseason, he's experimented a lot. Sometimes starting Caleb Martin, sometimes bringing him off the bench to start games. So we don't know what the Sixers lineup is also going to look like, right? But I just hope it's not Maxey and Eric Gordon. I think Eric Gordon should come off the bench. I don't think Eric Gordon should start because we're going up against this team, and they have a big front line. So in order to have a chance to compete against a team with a big front line, I think you also have to have a big front line as well. Now, we don't have some of the biggest wings. Paul George is not going to be playing. Embiid is not going to be playing. So, I mean, you have Andre Drummond, who is going to play the center position. And then at your small forward and power forward position, I think you need a matchup with, some big wings, right? You need some big wings to help, neutralize Giannis to a certain degree, even though nobody guard Giannis, but you do need to show him some different looks every single time. So if I'm to guess, I think the Sixers, or I would prefer for the Sixers to go with Maxey, Oubre, and then at your front court, you should probably have Caleb Martin, Yabusele, and then you have Andre Drummond. But like I said, we don't know how it's gonna go, but I think that should be the starting lineup because you need somebody to match up with Giannis, right? You need somebody to have him in check, and Giannis is just a beast in transition, and nobody can do anything with him in an open floor. When he gets that rebound and pushing the break, it's just game over. So I just think the Sixers need to have somebody to match up against him. Now, whoever they match up against, I mean, Caleb Martin, Yabusele, these guys cannot guard Giannis, right? You have to do it as a team. You can't guard Giannis. And I'm not going to be surprised if Giannis finishes this game with 32 points and 12, 13 rebounds and 6 assists. He's capable of doing that, right? I don't think anybody can get in his way with that. But I think there are certain defensive schemes that the Sixers can throw at Giannis to make him a little bit ineffective. The same goes with Damian Lillard as well, right? I think with Damian Lillard, you have to have him in check at all times, right? In the half court, you have to, have some of the best perimeter defenders on him because he's that good in the half court. He's that good breaking down as a defender and, stepping back, sidestepping and shooting a three or getting to the basket or getting in the lane and then kicking it out to an open shooter. So now this year, Milwaukee have a good team. Should I say a good team with, with better shooters, right? I think Gary Trent, he's a pretty good shooter. I mean, he was letting it fly when he was with the Raptors. I think he attempted like 6 threes, 5 threes. I could be wrong, but somebody could look that up and tell me. But yeah, I think they have good shooters. So if you see guys making threes from the Milwaukee Bucks, I don't think we should be surprised because they have good shooters this season with the addition of Gary Trent, even Taurean Prince. I know Laker fans are going to be mad at me, but I think Taurean Prince is a pretty good three-point shooter. I'm not going to say he's great, but he's a pretty good three-point shooter. And they have other guys, Damian Lillard as well. He can get hot from the three-point line. And they have a couple guys off the bench. I haven't said anything about Bobby Portis. Bobby Portis is a very, very good shooter. One of the best big man shooters in the game. So I don't think the Sixers need to fight on the glass with this team, right? I don't want to see the Sixers fighting with this Milwaukee Bucks team on the glass because the last thing you want is for Giannis to get that to get that rebound and then pushing the break. Because when that happens, the next thing you know is Damian Lillard will be down the floor. Gary Trent Jr. will be down the floor. Taurean Prince will be down the floor. Even Brook Lopez. I mean, even though he's slow, he's gotten older a little bit. But you don't want to see that because if you battle with this team, that's what's going to happen. And when Giannis gets that rebound and pushes the break, he can get to the basket or he can kick it out to an open shooter for threes. And that's how they kill a lot of teams. If you watched them last season, they did catch a lot of teams off guard with that strategy, right? So I don't think the Sixers need to battle it out with them on the glass. Now, we can send like one person on the offensive glass, but I think that I think the strategy is to get back every time the shot goes up. Don't try to battle it out with this team. Just try to get back and get the defense set, because that would give you a little bit of a chance. And then when Giannis gets the ball, whether you want to pack the paint, right? If you're going to pack the paint and play some pack line defense on them, I think that could definitely neutralize them a little bit to force somebody else to beat you and not let Giannis beat you, right? I think that would be a good strategy. I don't think you should let Giannis play one-on-one, because if he plays one-on-one, he's definitely going to kill you. And then with Damian Lillard as well, I think we should have somebody on him at all times, right? Have a Kelly Oubre on them, have a Caleb Martin on them, have some of these perimeter defenders on them, or some of the guys off the bench. Ricky Council. I don't know if Ricky Council is going to play, but if I'm to guess, I think he is going to play, because it's opening night. And opening night, teams are not going to play 7, 8, or 9 players, right? Coaches like to experiment, so they like to see what they have on their bench. So I could see Ricky Council coming in, and Ricky Council is a pretty good defender himself. Ricky Council, I think Ricky Council should definitely take the matchup on him defensively and try to slow him down. You can't stop him. You can try to get in his way, try to make things difficult for him, and force him into tough shots, right? That's my philosophy of playing defense. I don't try to get stops. I just try to force whoever I'm guarding to take a tough jumper. And when you take that shot, no matter what, I have to get the rebound, or my team has to get the rebound. That's my philosophy. But every coach has a different philosophy, which Nick Nurse has a different philosophy. I've been to a few of his coaching seminars, and I think he has a pretty good defensive philosophy himself. I mean, he's won a championship, so he definitely knows what he's doing. The sporting page says the Bucks are front runners. They'll win this and pound their chest. I mean, are they front runners? I don't think so. I don't see Giannis, bragging after a regular season game. I mean, I don't see that. Maybe I'm just forgetting, but I don't see them as front runners. I mean, the Knicks are bigger front runners than the Milwaukee Bucks, if we want to be honest. And speaking of the Knicks, Thomas, don't ever go against me when it comes to this basketball thing, bro. I told you Boston was going to hang 130 points, and you told me the most they were going to score was 101. I told you they were going to drop 130. And Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby and all those other bums, they're not good offensive players. And I told you, right? Mikal Bridges 0 for 7 in the first half. Now, yeah, he did get a few buckets. Yeah, he scored a few points, but the game was over. In the first quarter, the game was over. They were down by 20 in the first quarter. So, yeah, that's my rant on the Knicks. But shout out to Andre in the building, bro. Appreciate you for stopping by. He says Giannis is gonna be throwing elbows, dropping 35 plus tonight. I mean, it's not I'm not gonna be shocked, because he's capable of doing it. That's why I'm saying that whatever the strategy is gonna be, I don't want to see the Sixers playing him one-on-one, because he is that good. He can get to the basket, and I mean, he's been working on that little jump shot, little perimeter 16-footer. I think he's been working on it, but he can get to the basket like any other, right? Probably him and LeBron is probably one of the best slashers in the game. So I wouldn't be surprised, but I think we should definitely force somebody else to beat us, right? Somebody that's not Damian Lillard or Giannis. Now it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be difficult, but I think we can definitely do it, right? I think it can definitely be done. Salute to Mike in the building, bro. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you for stopping by. Andre says, I want to see something out of the role players tonight. Exactly. I also want to see something out of the role players as well. And I think Yabusele could have a pretty solid night himself, right? On Giannis, Giannis is going to win that matchup, right? Giannis is going to win that matchup, but I could see Yabusele being a bully down low, taking advantages of mismatches down low, getting to the basket himself, Now Giannis is a pretty good defender himself. Giannis can block shots at the rim. Giannis is a good help side defender. And Brook Lopez, I mean, these are some of the best rim protectors in the game. But I could see Yabusele having himself a moment. I could see Yabusele making threes. I could see Yabusele, if he's going to start or come off the bench, I could see him having a solid impact on this game. And, the same thing with other guys, Jared McCain, right? I could see Jared McCain also going off. I mean, he's a rookie. But I want to see Jared McCain succeed because I'm hearing people say that the Sixers passed on Dalton Connect, and Dalton Connect is doing something great with the Lakers. And, I mean, I don't really pay attention to players in college, so hopefully he has a good game himself. I don't know if he's cleared to play because he did get, had that back contusion, whatever they want to call it. But he was in some pain after he went down against the Brooklyn Nets. But hopefully he's good to go, and hopefully we can see what he does tonight out there on the floor. Do you think McCain gets some minutes tonight? Yeah, I think he's definitely going to get some minutes. And like I said, I mean, it's the first game of the season, so coaches are going to play. They're going to play their guys, right? Even with the Knicks last night, we saw them play Jericho Sims, and there's no reason why Jericho Sims should get any minutes, but we saw him get a little bit of minutes, right? I think he played more minutes than Karl Anthony Towns, but in reality, he shouldn't be out there on the floor. And if he's your backup center, you're going to be in trouble. But yeah, I could see Jared McCain getting some minutes, especially at the backup point guard position, right? Because I mean, we have Reggie Jackson, we have Eric Gordon, whatever the lineup is going to be like. But I just want to see Jared McCain come in as the backup point guard because Jared McCain can do more than just shoot the basketball. He can make plays. He can take guys off the dribble. He can get to the basket and he can make a play. So I think if I'm Nick Nurse, I'm definitely starting. I mean, I'm not starting, but I'm definitely going to play. Jared McCain. So yeah. I'm definitely playing him. And then let me get to Tyrese Maxey, right? Now, I haven't said too much about Tyrese Maxey, but if the Sixers are going to win this game tonight, I think Tyrese Maxey has to go off, right? He has to be aggressive from the start, scoring wise and playmaking wise, right? I think he has to be assertive. He has to try to establish himself early on and has to attack Milwaukee early and often, and I think he should go at Damian Lillard a lot, right? Because that's going to be the weakest link on the Bucks. Because you can't attack Giannis, you can't attack the other guys, but I think Damian Lillard. I mean, everybody goes at him, right? Teams look to run whatever offense to him. So, you attack Damian Lillard early, try to get him in foul trouble if you can. Which I mean, I don't think he's going to be in foul trouble. He barely tries on defense, but I think that should be the strategy. And I think Tyrese Maxey has to get his guys involved as well, right? Has to try to get Andre Drummond going, has to try to get other guys going, and just try to get in the lane, make a play, try to get other guys involved, Kelly Oubre, Caleb Martin. Now, one of the biggest challenges that the Sixers are going to encounter is the shot creation in the half court, right? If they try to deny Maxey, right, that's where I will have a little bit of concern because the Sixer team will not have a lot of shot creators out there, right? I don't trust Kelly Oubre. Kelly Oubre is just like OG Anunoby when he's trying to create offense, right? These guys can't. I always say this: if guys like that have to initiate your offense, then your offense is going to be in trouble. Right, we saw OG Anunoby try to take guys off the dribble, and I basically looked away, right, because it's not going to be anything. It's not going to be successful. Now they're good slashers, right? They can get to the basket, but if they have to create something off the dribble, it's definitely ugly to watch, right? It's ugly to watch. So, but I mean, Kelly Oubre is a good slasher himself, right? When he's going downhill, I'm always going to be confident in that, right? When he's especially on his left because he's left-handed. So when he's driving to his left, I'm always going to be confident in it. I mean, I think against the Orlando Magic, we saw him drive and throw down a ferocious dunk, going to his left. So those are the positions that I see Kelly Oubre being very, very successful in, right? And then when you talk about Caleb Martin, he's not that great of a shot creator, but he's a good enough shot creator. He can create something off the dribble, get to the mid range, stop, turn around, shoot that fadeaway shot. We've seen him do it multiple times. He can get to the basket himself, right? He can get there. He's very, very athletic, right? He's very, very athletic. So offensively, yeah, these guys, they can make something happen, right? And then when you have guys like Eric Gordon come off the bench, Eric Gordon can shoot those long range threes, which I'm not the biggest fan of, right? I don't want him shooting all those long range threes, but I mean he has range, right? You definitely got to give him credit on that, but I don't like seeing those threes. But I mean he can make something happen, and he's a good enough shot creator himself. But defensively, he can definitely get taken advantage of by Gary Trent Jr., by a Damian Lillard. Like Eric Gordon he's getting up there in age. So defensively, he's not that good. So I think there always has to be help coming from somewhere, right? And with the Giannis thing, like I said, if you have a Yabusele on him, you can then use Andre Drummond as the weak side, the weak side defender, the weak side rim protector, where even if Giannis takes Yabusele off the dribble, you can have Andre Drummond rotate over to contest him at the basket. So that's one thing. And another thing is last season we didn't really see Damian Lillard and Giannis pick and roll a lot. I don't know why, but I mean in pick and roll actions, Giannis is not a threat, popping. Right, he's always going to be a threat rolling to the basket. Right, that's the biggest threat. So, I think with that, the Sixers are going to play that differently, and they're always going to have to make sure that they have some weak side, rotations at the basket. Now, when Damian Lillard gets off that screen and there's no cover, he's going to shoot that. Right. He's going to shoot that. He's going to let that fly. And in situations like that, I don't like the primary defender going under the screen. Right. I don't want you going under the screen. No matter what, you should try to fight and try to stay with them and not let him shoot that three. Now, sometimes off the screen, you will see Damian Lillard try to go for a three and try to get contact. Right. I remember last season he got, I think, 2 calls doing that same shit, right? Going off the screen, coming off the screen, and then when the defender's trying to stay with him, he'll just go in his upward shooting motion and try to get free throws out of it, right? We can see that. So the defenders have to be, you have to be careful. You have to keep that at the back of your heads, because Damian Lillard is always going to try some crazy shit like that, right? So you always have to remember that, I'm playing against this dude, and he's gonna try to get, try to go for a three and get contact. So that's, Kelly Oubre, was a victim of that last season, I think 2 times. So Kelly Oubre has to have this at the back of his head, and the other guys, right? Caleb Martin, Ricky Council, if he's gonna play, I can see him playing, and then Yabusele might get some minutes at the backup center position, right? Because Andre Drummond is going to start. So I'm anticipating that he might get some minutes at the backup center position, even though I want him to start. But however Nick Nurse is going to stagger the minutes, I think he'll probably have something like that, or he might have Adem Bona playing the backup center position. But I mean, with that, I'm not going to be concerned with it, because when Bobby Portis comes off the bench, he's not really somebody who's going to dominate you in the interior, right? He likes to shoot a lot of threes. He likes to step back, try to, shoot threes above the break and from the corner. So I just think that he would have to, keep him covered, right? Always have somebody on him, because he can get hot. We've seen Bobby Portis knock down a lot of threes in the past. So that's somebody that the Sixers have to keep an eye on. Now moving forward, sorry about that, y'all. I think the Yeah, I said this. I think Milwaukee's gonna win, right? They're favored. I'm favoring them as well because it's just too much that the Sixers are gonna have to deal with, right? It's a lot that the Sixers are gonna have to deal with. And they have most of their guys healthy, right? You have Giannis, who's a walk-in, he's a walk-in 30, and then Damian Lillard is also a walk-in 30 himself. So it's definitely gonna be tough. It's definitely gonna be tough. And if the Sixers are gonna win this, it's gonna have to be a collective effort, right? It's gonna have to be a collective effort. Guys have to, play hard on both sides of the floor, offensively, defensively, and don't try to battle it with them on the glass, right? That's gonna be a recipe for disaster. We don't want to see that. We just want to see guys when the shot goes up, try to get back and get the defense set right. And Maxey has to, like I said, Maxey has to be aggressive from the jump. Try to get Andre Drummond involved. When you feed the big man, he's gonna get happy, right? When you feed your big man, he's gonna want to do. He's gonna have to. I mean, he's gonna want to do all the dirty work, right? Get all the rebounds, block shots, take charges. Be a presence down low. And I'm glad we have Andre Drummond, right? I'm glad we have him because if we didn't, the Sixers would be in trouble, right? Because last season with Paul Reed, the Sixers had issues every night in the interior, right? Gave up a lot of points, gave up a lot of rebounds, and that's how teams were beating the Sixers, right? That's how team beat the Sixers. Getting those points down low and then getting offensive rebounds. But now when you have Andre Drummond, you're not going to have to be concerned with other teams getting all those rebounds because you have Andre Drummond, and Drummond is going to try his best and get all those rebounds and be a paint protector down low. Now they're going to try to get Andre Drummond away from that basket, right? And try to create some driving lanes for Giannis to get to the basket, right? I anticipate Milwaukee doing it, and Doc Rivers, people don't give Doc Rivers any credit, but I mean he's a smart enough coach to do that, right? To get him, get him around from that basket because he's that good of a rebounder or he's that good of an interior presence. So if he's smart, right, that's going to be one of his biggest strategies, right? Get him away from that basket, and let's create some driving lanes for Giannis to get there. Let's create some driving lanes for Damian Lillard to get to the basket. So, I think, like I said, guys are going to have to, fight over those screens and not give up, not give in on switches like that, right? You don't want to see Andre Drummond switching out to the perimeter like that because the Sixers will definitely get burned. The Sixers will definitely get burned on those on matchups like that, right? Giannis will have a field day in the paint. Salute to T Swizzy. Appreciate you, bro. He says link. I might drop it, but we'll see. And your Celtics are looking pretty impressive, right? 29 threes. Damn. But I'm glad y'all took care of those Knickerbockers. I'm just glad. Salute to Cottage 81. Appreciate you for stopping by. He says, chat room, smash the like button. We need over 50 likes in the chat. Yeah, appreciate you, Cottage. Yeah, smash that like button. And he says, is Giannis better than Dirk Nowitzki in your opinion? Currently, no, but I think eventually Giannis he'll definitely pass him. Yeah, I think eventually he'll pass him because I mean Dirk has longevity in his favor, so I think Giannis is gonna have to, try to close that gap. Now he might not play 21 years, but I think Giannis, with those defensive teams and all NBA selections, I think Giannis would definitely close that gap. Salute to Bruce. Appreciate you for stopping by. Yeah, Bruce, I told you I didn't block you. So yeah, because I've never even blocked anybody on this channel. I never even put anybody in timeout before. So I was a little shocked that you said that, but yeah, appreciate you. He says the Sixers concern me, and I'm not even a Sixers fan. I mean, yeah, I'm concerned, right? I mean, every time two of your best players are not going to be playing, you have to be concerned. And with the Sixers organization, you don't know, they might be hiding something from you. So, yeah, there's a little bit of concern, but I'm also being optimistic at the same time. He says the Celtics they're overrated good. I mean, I don't think. I mean, they won the championship, so yeah, they're gonna be overrated. But I mean, they made 29 threes, Bruce. They made 29 threes, and I saw the comment on Big Tone Channel where you were saying that Boston is trying. You said Boston is trying to be Golden State so bad, which I mean they are, right? They got their blueprint from Golden State. They're jacking up a lot of threes, but I mean they're making a lot of threes as well, right? They're making a lot of threes. So I mean, I just don't know. I mean, they're looking good, and I did say they're not gonna go back to back, but I mean, I might have to walk that back. I might have to walk it back, but yeah. He says I sent the email to YouTube. Oh, okay. So yeah, I'm glad it worked out for you. I'm glad. I mean, yeah, Boston was playing like Golden State last night. Yeah, that's true. They jacked up a lot of threes. I mean, Tatum was just getting them off the dribble. And some of those threes, I'm just like, damn. And if Jason Tatum is making those threes, because in the playoffs he was trash shooting the three, but if Jason Tatum is making those threes, Boston is going to be very, very dangerous. And he was getting on that block. He was taking advantage of Mikal Bridges. And I told Thomas that bum is not going to stop no Jason Tatum. OG Anunoby is not going to stop Jason Tatum. Now Tatum did get hot, right? Don't get me wrong, he did get hot, but 1-on-1, those guys have no chance stopping Jason Tatum. So yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Salute to Cheyenne in the building, bro. Appreciate you. Salute DFJ. You put a G, but it's a J. He says Boston reminds me of the 2018 Houston Rockets. I said that last season. Yeah, they're taking a lot of threes, but I mean, they won a championship. Houston did not win a championship, so that's the only difference, I think. And I think they're making a high percentage of their threes. I don't think Houston was doing that. I may be wrong, but yeah, I think you can look it up, and they have a high higher percentage in terms of threes made. So I think that's the only difference. But I mean, they have guys that can shoot the ball. I mean, Drew Holiday and Derek White. Derek White has such a quick release. I'm like, damn, making all these threes. I'm like, whoa. But yeah, I want to get to this last thing about this game right here. I mean, I already gave my predictions. What I expect from this team. Yeah, I still have Milwaukee winning because the Sixers are gonna they're missing a lot, right? They're missing interior scoring. They're missing Paul George, who's a good scorer himself, right? He's a huge part with what the Sixers do in terms of perimeter shooting, right, from the 3-point line. Cottage says, you think Philly's winning 45 to 50 games? If Embiid and George if they play enough games, yeah, the Sixers won 47 games last season, right? So, and this season they got better with the caliber of players that they picked up, right? They got better this season. So, yeah, they definitely can win 45 to 50 games. Yeah, I can see that. But what was I saying before I got? Yeah. So yeah, Paul George is missing. So that guys are gonna have to replace that production, right? Which is gonna be difficult. But sometimes if guys step up, they can definitely make up for that production. Now, can Andre Drummond make up for Embiid's scoring production? I don't think so. But I think he can definitely get you a lot of rebounds, right? He can get you a lot of rebounds. On the glass, he can get you a few offensive rebounds, which the Sixers can capitalize on, right? A few offensive rebounds. Even though I don't want us sending all our guys to the offensive glass, which that is Nick Nurse's coaching philosophy, right? A lot of Nick Nurse-led teams, they are top 5, top 10 in offensive rebounds. But with this unit, I don't think that would be the best strategy because we have a lot of small guys. have a lot of small guys. So it would be better to send those guys back to get the defense set. And like I said, when Giannis gets that offensive rebound and he pushes it, Dame and Gary Trent and all those other guys, they're gonna be already down the floor. Which, if they hit those threes, you're gonna be in trouble, right? The last thing you want to do is give up open looks to teams like this, right? You don't want to give Damian Lillard open looks. You don't want to give Gary Trent Jr. open looks. Now, people are saying I'm hyping up Gary Trent Jr., but I mean he's a good shooter himself. I don't know what his stats were last season, but I think he was probably over the league average, right? 37% from the three, which is always going to be is always efficient. I mean, not efficient, but if you're making your threes at over league average, then you're definitely a problem from the three. Smash the like button as y'all come in. Smash the like button. Smash the like button. Yeah, so I got Milwaukee winning this game, but the Sixers can definitely turn things around. I mean, we don't know if Maxey might take things personally and go for 50, which, I mean, it's going to be difficult to drop 50 on Milwaukee, but if he's aggressive, if he gets it going early and starts getting guys involved, the Sixers will probably have a chance. But, on the other hand, you're going to have to deal with the other dynamic duo, right? You're going to have to deal with Giannis. You're going to have to deal with Dame and pick and roll actions from the 3-point line. In the interior, it's just going to be a problem, right? Giannis is going to be a problem. He's going to be all over the floor. So we're going to have to keep those guys in check. And Giannis, one thing I notice about Giannis is sometimes he's a good passer. Don't get me wrong. He's a good passer, very, very good passer. But sometimes he likes to telegraph passes like that, right? He likes to telegraph passes, and he gets a lot of turnovers in that manner. So I think one thing the Sixers have to do, which sometimes Maxey does this, which, I mean, I don't fully like it, but when you're getting those steals, that feels good, right? It's always good, but it's gambling at the end of the day, which is not a good defensive strategy. But sometimes if you can play in the passing lane to pick up some of these passes, some of these easy passes, these easy telegraph passes, you can definitely capitalize on that, right? So yeah, we're gonna have to keep these guys in check. Prediction of the score, I don't know what the score is going to look like. Maybe Milwaukee wins by 5 or 6 points. Do I think it's going to be a blowout? I don't think it's going to be a blowout, right? I don't think it's going to be a blowout, even though it could happen, right? We just saw New York get blown off the floor last night. What was it, a 30-point game, something like that? They were losing the game after the first quarter. The game was over. Right now, they probably came back and they were trying to go for the record. I think the record is 30 made threes in the season. I mean, in the game, so they were trying to go for that record, and they started missing a lot. But had they played all the starters from start to finish, they would have won by 40. Right, they would have won by 40 if they were going at the rate that they were going at. But I mean, yeah, I think I covered everything that I wanted to cover. I think the Sixers, yeah, I'm not gonna favor them to win. I'm favoring Milwaukee, because you're missing two of your guys. Right? You're missing two of your guys. So, I think Nick Nurse is gonna be. He has to be very, very creative with the lineups. Right? Have to be creative with the lineups and staggering of minutes. Now, Nick Nurse might play some guys way more minutes, which I'm not going to be in support of, right? I think you should experiment with what you got and see what you have. So, the young players should definitely get some playing time. The Ricky Councils, the Jared McCains, they should get playing time. Now, the scoring off the bench, I'm not really scared of, because I mean, you have Eric Gordon and Reggie Jackson. Now, Reggie Jackson could be a head case sometimes, right? He could be a head case. He could hold on to the ball sometimes and then, just jack up some bullshit when the shot clock is winding down. So, but I think the Sixers will be fine off the bench. The scoring will be fine. It will be okay off the bench. I think Milwaukee might have issues generating offense off the bench because who they got coming off the bench, right? I think they drafted a few players here or there. Maybe DeLon Wright is going to come off the bench, but DeLon Wright is not a scorer, right? They don't have somebody who can create instant offense off the bench. I mean, Bobby Portis, yeah, don't get me wrong, but I'm talking about somebody who I'm talking about a guard or a wing, right? Bobby Portis is not going to get the ball and trying to initiate the offense, right? That's not what he does. That's not him. So, yeah, they might have a few issues coming off with players coming off the bench. I mean, yeah, they have Pat Connaughton, who I forgot about. He's a solid player himself. But I think they might have issues with guys off the bench. So Doc Rivers is going to have to be very, very creative, right? Staggering the minutes of Damian Lillard and Giannis, right? You're going to have to be creative to, spread out the offense. All right, spread out the offense, because if you keep playing these guys at the same time, your offense might be in trouble in terms of, shot creation from the perimeter, in the interior. You might be in trouble. So, Doc, you're going to have to be a little bit creative with that. Yeah, so they got AJ Johnson, who's he's a very good shooter. AJ Green, T. Smith, Marjon Beauchamp. So I mean, they have solid guys coming off the bench. I mean, they pretty much have names or players that a lot of us don't know about. I mean, even I know some of these guys, but some people may not know them, right? So, and that's how you get in trouble, right? You don't know a player, and then they play in this game, and then they come off the bench and they barbecue you, right? The same thing that happened with the Knicks last night. They had Deuce McBride or Miles McBride. He came off the bench and was barbecuing, straight barbecuing. Right, he barbecued them, even though they lost, but he made shit happen, right? Shooting those threes, getting to the basket in the mid range, he definitely made shit happen. So, hopefully Milwaukee doesn't have a situation like that where your player comes off the bench and barbecues. If I'm to predict the stats for these players, I think Giannis will probably, yeah, I got him going for 30. I got Dame getting 21, 22. And I think Maxey also gets a 30. He finishes with a 30-point night. Will Andre Drummond get 20 rebounds? I'm not gonna say. I don't know. It could happen, right? Because Andre Drummond he could still get you a lot of rebounds. I think one of those games in the preseason he had finished with 20 rebounds, right? Or was it 20 or 15? One of them. But I think Andre Drummond is, excuse me, he's going to have to be active on the glass, right? He's going to have to be active on the glass, not give up any second chance opportunities, because Giannis could definitely capitalize on that. Or he can get those rebounds and then, kick it out to the shooters, right? So that's something that we have to take care of, which I'm not really concerned about it because we have Andre Drummond. Now, had we had Paul Reed, then I would have been concerned because he's not that good of a rebounder. I'm not trying to throw any shade at him, but, hopefully he does good with the Pistons. But for what the Sixers needed, he didn't really provide. Yeah, shout out to my guy, Brian Pumper. Shout out to Brian Pumper in the building, man. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. He said, we got Kelly and his aura for Greek cheeks. Kelly Oubre, I mean, I'm not really man, Giannis is a problem in transition. But in the half court, Giannis is he's limited, right? He's limited in the half court because he's not that great of a shot creator. He can get to the basket, but he can definitely get clamped to a certain degree because the handles is not there, the self creation is not there. So yeah, he's suspect in that area. But if he gets past you, he can get to the basket, which, I mean, I don't know if Kelly Oubre should start on Giannis. I mean, I'm not going to suggest that. I think Kelly should start on Damian Lillard. And I mean, like you just said, lame. Man, y'all funny as hell. Said Lame Time and Greek Yogurt are free throw merchants, which is true, right? Damian Lillard is a free throw merchant. He can get to that line, especially on those screens, right? He'll come off the screen, and once he feels a little bit of contact, he'll just go up for a shot. Which, I mean, it's a bad shot because when you're coming off a screen like that, it's always awkward. But that's why I said Kelly Oubre, Caleb Martin. If Ricky Council is going to play, if KJ Martin is going to get any playing time, that's something that they have to keep in check because Damian Lillard is going to want to go for threes and get contact. Right? We saw him do it last year against us. Right? He had that. I think in the fourth quarter where he ISO Kelly Oubre and did a few moves and he drove past some snatch back, and then went up for the shot, and Kelly Oubre got called for contact. So I think that's something that they got to keep in check. Now I can see Kelly Oubre also going off in this game, right? Because they don't have enough. I mean, last season's team is different from this year's team, but I don't think they have consistent defenders that can hold Kelly Oubre from slashing to the basket, right? So I could see Kelly Oubre having a field day, taking guys off the dribble, especially going to his left. Now, when he's going to his right, I hate seeing that because he's not that weekend. It just feels like he's gonna get stripped every time he drives with his right hand. The right hand is not that handle is not that tight. Pause if necessary. But yeah, I could see Kelly Oubre going off himself. He says Brian Pumper says Giannis is a running back. Adam Silver a straight terrorist for allowing this catastrophe. I mean, yeah, sometimes, yeah, straight line drive to the basket, getting away with offensive rebounds. Sometimes, traveling. Sometimes, on those spins, right? When he drives and he spins, sometimes he travels on the Euro step. Sometimes he travels. I mean, that is true. But hey, if they're not calling it, you got to play. You got to play through it, man. If they ain't calling it, you got to play through it. So, but I mean, Giannis getting to the free throw line. Sometimes it's a blessing because sometimes he shoots like 50% from the free throw line. So that really helps you. You give up 1 point instead of giving up 2 or, potentially 3, because sometimes he makes some of these tough shots through contact. Right. So sometimes it could be a blessing, but he can get hot from the free throw line. You don't really hear that often, but if he's in rhythm, he can knock down some free throws. Right. And I heard he's been working. I mean, every year he works on his free throws, right? But he still comes out and is literally the same free throw shooter from the season prior, right? He's a 60% or 63, 64% free throw shooter. So sometimes I like when he gets to the free throw line because instead of giving up 2 points, you only giving up 1 point, right? Because he's always getting a split at the free throw line. He always splits a pair at the free throw line. So let me get through a few of these comments. And the game starts at, I think, 7:30, 7 o'clock. So yeah, we gotta get to the game. I got you, Cottage. Yeah, I should sub to my guy Cottage 81. Got some good videos on his channel, but we should have won. We should have won the game last year. Lame Time started flopping like a fish the last 2 minutes in the game. Yeah, I remember that game. I think he had like 17 free throws in that game. And on that last play, Giannis went up for a shot and he airballed it, right? Complete airball. He caught his own miss, which is a travel. He caught his own miss and kicked it out to Damian Lillard, and he made the 3. And that was pretty much the go-ahead bucket, right? That was the dagger, if you want to call it. So yeah, the Sixers should have won that. But I mean, I think in situations like that, when the refs don't blow the whistle, when they don't call the travel, I don't think guys should stop playing, because in that instance, Embiid and Kelly Oubre, they were like, "Yo, that's a travel," but and they left Damian Lillard out there wide open, and he made the 3. So in situations like that, just continue playing. Right, the refs, they miss calls sometimes. So I just think sometimes you should just pay attention, man. Focus. Um, he said we got a ladder for Giannis. I'm not worried. Yeah, that was funny. I think that was like what 2 seasons ago, where he had a terrible game, terrible shooting the free throws, and then he wanted to practice after the game, and the workers wouldn't let him. They wouldn't let him shoot those free throws. They kept putting a ladder in his way, and he got frustrated. And, pushed the ladder out the way, and it was just funny. it was just funny, man. I remember that. It was funny. Who's guarding ball for the Bucks? Gary Trent. Yeah, I think Gary Trent might start on Maxey. Gary Trent. They might put Taurean Prince on him. From in spurts, right? Just to switch up the matchup, show him some different looks. But I mean, Gary Trent, yeah, he can't guard Maxey. Maxey's too fast for him. Maxey has really worked on his game. I don't know if y'all have really watched him so far this season, but I mean, he's making those mid-range shots, right? He's getting to the mid-range. His shot creation has gotten way much better from last season. The threes have gotten a little bit. The release has gotten much quicker, right? And he's making these shots. So Maxey, like I said, he's definitely gonna go off, right? I see Maxey getting 30 points because the Bucks, the perimeter defense is not as good, even though I think it's better than what it was last season, but it's still not. You have to deal with Maxey, the Oubres, and all these other guys, right? Caleb Martin, who has had success against Milwaukee in the past, so he's pretty much used to this team. And then they don't have any perimeter defense. Come on, man. It's going to be easy work for him. You think Damian Lillard is overrated in your opinion? I don't think so. I mean, when I ranked my point guards, I had him like what, seventh? I can't remember, but I think I had him at seventh. So, yeah, I don't think he's overrated. I don't think he's overrated. But I mean, when it comes to him being clutch, I think that he gets overrated a little bit because he has like 2 game winners to send teams home in the playoffs, right? So people just look at that and call him clutch. But in other series, he hasn't been clutch, right? So I think that's something that people need to they need to pay attention to. But as a player, he's not overrated, right? He's a good offensive player, probably top 10 in my opinion. In terms of making threes, handles, shot creation, he's definitely top 10. But defensively, garbage. Yeah, they got Taurean Prince, man, but they got Taurean Prince. But I mean, Taurean Prince is not as bad as Laker fans were trying to make him out to be. I don't think he's that bad. I mean, it's just it comes down to your expectations from him, right? Is he a guy who's gonna give you 20 points night in and night out? No. But as a rotation player, somebody who's gonna come in, do his job, make a few threes, play some good defense, play some solid defense. I mean, when you got Giannis and Brook Lopez on the floor. I mean, these are two. They're good interior presence. So, you just have to just funnel the offensive guys into them, right? Just funnel the offensive guys into them, and just don't be a cone, right? Don't be a cone. Don't be like Dame. Dame's a cone. Just don't be like that, and you'll be good. I got Drummond snugging 25 rebounds. You think so? I mean, it's tough to say, right? Because Giannis is a double digit rebounder, and Brook Lopez is. I mean, he's older, so he's not going to get you double digit rebounds night in and night out. But I think he can get you 6, 7, or 8 guaranteed, right? And then you couple that with Giannis, who's going to get you double digits, and then off the bench you got Bobby Portis, who can also get you rebounds. I don't see Drummond. I don't see Drummond going for 25, but hey, if he does, bro, I'm gonna give you a lot of credit, right, on the post game show, right? He says Damian Lillard is probably the worst defender in the association. I mean, that's true. I mean, I have a couple players in that in that tier. I have D'Angelo Russell in that tier, right? He's one of the worst defenders. I got Trae Young in that tier, right? Worst, one of the worst defenders. Shit, I might put Jalen Brunson in there, to be honest with y'all. Because last night they ran whatever offense Boston ran. They were attacking him, constantly going at him. So I don't know, but I might put him in that tier. But Jalen Brunson is solid in the post, right? He's solid in the post. Like he has lower body strength, so he's able to keep up with some of these guys that try to post them up. But on the perimeter, trying to get stops, nah, trash. So yeah, that's my those are the guys I have in that category. It's 7 o'clock. Game will be starting momentarily. What time does it start? It starts at 7 o'clock. I don't know. I think it starts at 7:30. But yeah, I'm just get ready and close this out. Man, I appreciate y'all for tapping in. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. And my regulars, Brian Pumper. Yeah. Hey man, appreciate you for tuning in, bro. Appreciate you for tapping in. Shout out to my guy Cottage 81. He's always in here showing love, always here supporting. Yeah, shout out to Andre who was in here a few minutes ago. Shout out to Cheyenne who stopped by. Shout out to Bruce. Bruce is he's a what you call it? He's a regular on the show. Shout out to him. Shout out to T Sweezy. He was trying to come in, but I don't think he's still on. Shout out to the supporting page. Shout out to Mike. And shout out to my guy Michael, who is always supporting me every time I go live. So shout out to him. Appreciate you for stopping by. Yeah, y'all gotta smash the like button, bro. Smash that like button. Yeah, smash that like button. If y'all think the Sixers gonna win, type 1 in the comment section. I'm not. It's just too much for them, but I got Milwaukee winning, but the Sixers definitely have a chance, right? Maxey could definitely will them to a victory tonight, right? He could will them to a victory tonight. Mike says, let's hope KJ Martin holds it down against Giannis. So I don't know if KJ is going to start, which I'm not going to be opposed to that decision because you're going to have him in for defensive purposes. And with his athleticism out there on the perimeter. So it's going to be difficult, bro, because Giannis is just, man, in the open floor, you're not catching him. But in the half court, right, KJ could definitely hold his own. In the half court, I'm not even worried about half court defense. I'm just worried about the transition defense. That's what I'm worried. That's what I'm concerned with. But if he starts, okay, cool, no problem, because that then you can bring Gershon Yabusele off the bench, who can give you some good minutes as a backup center, as a small ball center. So I'm not going to be opposed to that situation. To that decision. Yeah, you got the Bucks winning. Yeah, I got the Bucks winning too. Yeah, I got Milwaukee winning because it's just going to be too much for Philly. But hey, we don't know. Maybe the crowd might give them a different type of energy. Maybe they might start making shots like Boston did last night. So hopefully everything goes good for the Sixers. We will definitely be recapping the game tomorrow, not tonight, right? I wanted to call the game, but I'm not going to. It's too late for that. But yeah, appreciate y'all for tapping in. Appreciate y'all, Mike, Michael, Cottage, Brian Pumper, Bruce, Cheyenne, Sporting Page. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. I'm gonna catch you guys on the next episode. Peace. Enjoy the rest of your night. There's gonna be a shit ton of basketball games, right? So I hope y'all enjoy this season. I'm gonna definitely enjoy it. Yeah, appreciate y'all. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.